So I want to talk about a few of the songs that are on Lonesome Traveler, which is the. What do you mean? What do you mean by the way, lost record? I mean, you did it and it never came out. I mean, I know I don't have it.
Yeah.
But how do you record a record and it doesn't come out? That must make you pull your hair out. As if other things don't, right?
Man, it's just like if I could fill a book with what decisions not to make if you want to be a successful band. I know how not to. I'm just trying to like take those. I'm like, all right, so this doesn't work. So like, what else is left that does? We recorded Sound Color Motion, and we got done that, and we ended up leaving the label before it released, which was also Monoverse Stereo. So we signed to real quick, brief history of the universe.
All right.
Farewell Flight forms. Record a couple of EPs, and then we write a bunch of songs. We get signed to a label by our friend Brad Moist called Monoverse Stereo. We recorded an album for them. Brad decides to leave the label for some personal reasons, and because he leaves the label, it was his label. Goatee, which owns Monoverse Stereo, decides to kind of like either incorporate bands into Goatee or to let them go. So at that point, we had already recorded the album, but we did not really want to be a Christian band on Goatee. It's just a personal decision. I don't think our music really fits itself very well into the Christian market anyways, because I talk about booze and I cuss once on the record, I think. So what happens is that we leave the label and we release the record on our own after a year, and we like tour on it like crazy. We save up money and recorded a brand new album called Lonesome Traveler, which incidentally is mainly about me being frustrated. It's a record about me playing in a band, being frustrated about not making it, which is probably, looking back, I really regret writing an entire album about that. That's such a selfish thing to write about because no one's going to relate to that.
I'll say you can say that, but the reality is that we're all frustrated with life, or most people are. I'll say a lot of people are, and we are searching for some sort of aliveness, and that's what I got from the songs that I have from SoundCloud on it. So
I guess. Fair enough.
Don't beat yourself up too hard is what I'm saying, really.
Well, thank you. So we record this album, and we're like quote unquote shopping it around. That's an industry term for like we're trying to get a record label to sign us and put it out for us.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Nobody's interested. We showcase for everybody from Island Def Jam in LA to Sony in New York, and like everybody's like, man, cool, man, yeah, we'll be in touch, and they aren't. So we end up. We're getting ready to release it by ourselves, and then Matt Thiessen from Relient K, turns out he's reviving the Monoverse Stereo label. And when he first did, it was like 3 weeks before we recorded Lonesome Traveler, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm restarting the Monoverse Stereo label, and I really love your music, and I want to sign you guys, and I want to re-release Sound Color Motion." And I was like, well, we don't really want to re-release a record. We really would rather just
keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward. Yeah, and like we had already booked time with his studio. It's 3 weeks away. I'm not going to cancel on this producer. It's like he's going to have this huge, 2-week gap. Like, you just don't do that to people. So like, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So we decide we're going to not sign. We're going to record the label. We're going to record the record. And so he ends up. They signed another band called Deus Vale, and like they hook up these crazy awesome tours. They go on tour with Owl City, obviously with Relient K. They go out with May. They go on Copeland's Farewell tour. They get all these awesome tours, and we're like, crap, that's what we wanted. That's what we really wanted to do. Right. And in the meantime, nobody's chomping at the bit to do anything with our Lonesome Traveler record. And so I hit him up. I'm like, hey, are you still interested in signing us? He's like, yeah, but I'm still feel the same way. I want to re-release your record. And we're like, well, we can release Lonesome Traveler on our own and be independent and stick it to the man, and probably stick it to ourselves as well and never really go anywhere. Or we can we're like, can you do for us what you did for Deus Vale? Put us on a lot of great tours. And they're like, yeah, we can totally do that. We want to do that. We want to do more than that for you. Direct quote. And so like we're like, all right, cool. Let's sign with them. We'll re-release it. And they're like, well, the one thing is we want you to change your band name. So we're like,
All right.
Okay, yeah. So we fought them on it, but they said it was a make or break deal. So we're like, F it. We'll change our band name. We'll do anything to make it. We just want to write our songs and be in a band for a living. So we changed our band name, and we printed new T-shirts, and we did one tour. And at the end of the tour, actually in Michigan, in Hamtramck, I had a conversation with a guy from the label, and he's like, yeah, we're reading online, like, there's a lot of blogs and stuff, and your fans are really pissed off about the fact that you changed your band name. People think it's really dumb. And we're like, yeah, we didn't want to do that, but you guys said it was make or break. And they're like, well, maybe you should change it back. We're like, great. Now I have 150 Indian Summer T-shirts that which was our band name we changed it to. So we changed it back, re-released this album, Out for Blood, and then all the stuff that was promised never happened. They never put us on a single tour. And I'm not mad about that. I'm not like, trying to like complain or the guys from Relient K are cool dudes. Love them. Still have a great relationship with them. Just kind of telling things as they happen. So it never happened. And so we recorded a bunch of new, wrote a bunch of new demos, wrote a bunch of new songs, recorded some demos for those. One of the songs is the one I sent you today, Places Will Go. And they just, the label was just like, no, we're not interested in doing another record, which is crazy because it's like you didn't really do a first record with us. So
right.
I don't know. I know our fans were really pissed off at us. Like, why would you not release, your new album? Why did you re-release this? We just did what we thought was the best decision at the time, and I don't know. Yeah. Here we are. Yeah. So, so we have this album, Lonesome Traveler, that we never released. It's now 3 years old, I think, 4 years old. And we have all these new songs that we've written. We have 50% of us is a new band. We got 2 new members. We don't really want to release something that's 4 years old to us. Just like, if you were to look at it this way, if you as an individual were to go on Facebook and look at pictures of yourself from 4 years ago, you're probably kind of embarrassed of that. Like, if you're going to put a profile picture, this is the best way I can think of describe it. You're going to put a profile picture up of yourself. You're not going to put a picture from 4 years ago. You're going to put something from like a month ago that's like that really cool shot where you look awesome. Like, it's like, oh, this is a really good shot of me. Like, that's how it feels. Like, I feel like I've written better songs, newer songs that I'm not tired of, and so that's our lost album, Lonesome Traveler. So we've released it for free, is what we did essentially. We wanted people to have it, but I also didn't want it to be like, this is our new record, because it's not a new record. It's several years old.
Yeah, that's the one thing about besides the travel, which I don't know if I could ever fully embrace, but the idea that when you create something, I want feedback, quote unquote, now. What do you guys think? Instead of recording it, perfecting it, having a scheduled release 6 months later, and all of a sudden the song, when it's brand new to me, is already at least 9 months old to you. And now you're talking about something that's 3 years old. And again, we evolve as humans individually and as a group. And it's like, we're so much better now. Please.
Yeah, I know. It's frustrating.
My least, but I know.